Hey guys, how are you doing today? Today I am going to bring you a tag. It's going to be the TBR tag, and without further ado, I hope you enjoy it. The very first question is, how do you keep track of your TBR pile? Now, I just recently really started to use the Goodreads app for tracking my progress in reading and for tracking my TBR pile, but before then it was literally just a pile, and I actually just redid some of my bookshelves, and I have a whole entire shelf that is nothing but TBRs. Like, these are the books that I want to read, but other than that I don't really keep track of it. I know that's bad. I should, so that I know what books of mine I have and haven't read, but I mean, what are you gonna do? You only have so much time in the day. The second question is your TBR pile mostly print or ebooks? It's a good healthy mixture of both. I do have a lot of physical books here that are my TBRs, but I think that I have quite a few on my e-reader that I haven't read yet. So I think more print than ebooks, actually. The third question is, how do I determine what book I'm going to read next for my TBR pile? It really just depends on my mood. I was watching April with Getting Hugga with It. I was watching her fall reads, like wanting to read, and I think that I'm gonna do that instead. I know that I tried the August top 5, and it's almost the end of August, and I've only read 3 out of 5 of the books, and the other 2 books, I'm just not in the mood to read. For some reason, I mean, I'm on a cozy mystery kick, so I just keep reading the cozy mysteries. So I think that if I have like a season, like these are the books I want to read this season, I think that gives me, that gives me about 3 months to read a good majority of books. So I'm hoping that that's what I'm gonna do come fall, is have like a list of books for fall. The next question is a book that has been on your TBR pile for the longest, and that's probably going to be Emma by Jane Austen. I can't get into it. I know that people have said that I really need to, that it is a really good book. I even bought a modern adaptation of the book, and I still haven't picked it up. I don't know. I think that I need to DNF it, even though I haven't even started it. So can you DNF a book that you haven't started? I mean, I started it like 3 or 4 times, but I just still couldn't get into it. So that's the book that's been on my list for the longest, probably. The next question is the opposite of that. What is a book that you just put on your TBR list? And that was Smoke Gets in Your Eyes by Caitlin Doughty. I actually saw this book on April's channel, Getting Hugga with It, and I thought that it was really, really interesting. It's sort of a nonfiction book about a woman who worked in a crematory, and it goes from her sweeping up ashes to all different kinds of things like cleanup and dark and weird things like that. But I don't know, the way April was talking about it, it seems really, really interesting. So I put it on my TBR. I don't know if I will read it, but I did put it on there on my Goodreads. The next one is a book that's in your TBR pile that you put there strictly for how the cover looks, for the beauty of it. And The Keepers Vow, it's the first one in the Guardian series by Francina Simone. I mean, it's stunning, it's beautiful. The cover was too beautiful not to put on my TBR pile. So the next question is a book that's on your TBR pile or in your list that you never actually plan on reading. Now that would have to be The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand. Now I did actually I got pretty far into Atlas Shrugged, and so I bought the duo set of Atlas Shrugged and Fountainhead, and it's Fountainhead that is in that series, those 2 books that I'm not gonna read. So it would have to be The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand. I just can't get into it. So the next one is an unpublished book that is on your TBR pile that you plan on reading, and that is my Selena Rosen. She has The Twins and The Burden of the Crown. I'll put them right here. She sent those to me as arts, and I'm super excited to read those, and they haven't been published yet, so they count. The next one is a book that's on your TBR pile that everyone has seemed to have read except for you, and that would have to be A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. Everyone seems to have read this book except for me, and it is my goal to read it by the end of the year. I actually suggested it for my book club this for September, and it's got a couple of votes, so we'll see if it actually gets chosen. I think that it would be awesome if it did, because how cool would that be to have my book chosen and then to get it done and read so that I can be in all the cool stuff and be with the cool kids. That could be cool. How many times can I say cool? Cool, 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 cool. If you've seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you know where that's from. Jake Peralta. A book on your TBR that everyone keeps suggesting that you read, The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. It's actually another book that was suggested for September's book for my book club. So maybe I am gonna read that, but that is one of Aaron's absolute favorite books. And he really, really, really wants me to read it, and so he keeps suggesting it. And then my friend Natalie Morgan at work, she keeps suggesting it, and so I'm bound and determined that I'm going to try and read that book. It's a big book. It's like this thick. It's a pretty thick book, but I think it'll be worth reading. A book on your TBR pile that you're dying to read, and of course it's going to be a cozy mystery. It is The Readaholics and the Falcon Fiasco by Laura De Silverio. I know I butchered that. I am so sorry. But it seems to be really good. It's about a book club, and they are trying to sort of unravel what the mystery is, and I think that sounds really, really awesome. And it just seems like a fun, cozy mystery, and I'm in a cozy mystery sort of like, addiction right now. Or always. Yes, always. So the final question is, how many books do you have on your to-be-read shelf on Goodreads? Now, I am so bad at putting things on my Goodreads. Like, I'm really good at keeping track of what I'm reading on my Goodreads, but to actually have all of my TBRs on my Goodreads, I suck at. So right now I have 34 on there, but I have way more than 34 books that are on my to be read pile. They're just not on it digitally in Goodreads. So I will leave my Goodreads and everything down below so that you can follow. All of my social media is down below. Please like and subscribe to me if you like seeing my face and if you like seeing my videos. I post a video every Wednesday and Friday, and that's the end of this chapter of Courtagonist, guys. I hope that you have an amazing day and happy reading. Bye.